Okay, so let's continue with this example and see how we're going to practicalize everything that we have said concerning the forward pass, the backward pass, finding our latest finish times, latest start times, and all that. Okay, so for a starter, I want us to get this map. You remember in the previous slides we saw some things we had as ES and we refer to as the earliest start times. We have EF, which we called our earliest finish times. We had our LS, which we call the latest start time, and then our LF, which we call our latest finish time. So when we are going to do our forward pass and backward pass, we are going to use some things we call notes, and for the purposes of this video I will use rectangular notes. So all I'm just going to do is draw some rectangles like this, and put in my parameters like this. So I'm just doing this so that when you find me representing the values on the note, you would understand or you know what values they are. So this is where you find the value for my earliest start times. This is where you find the values for my earliest finish times. You'd find that of the latest start times here, and then the latest finish times. Then I'll put the duration here, or the duration of what we call the time of each activity. So this is just how it's going to be. So I want you to consider this more of a map than just something. So when we start going through the question, you would see that this is how I'm going to represent the stuff. This notwithstanding, I am not saying that there isn't going to be that, or there aren't other methods or ways by which people represent. In fact, there are more awesome ways of even doing it than this. So I am pretty sure that we can all go by this one for now, and I entreat you to use the books that we've recommended for you, and you would find other ones. Okay, so let's go through the question here. Now, from our question, you do see that there are activities, descriptions, immediate predecessor, and then time in months. The table consists 4 columns. The first one is just the set of activities for the entire project. And so here, I think there are 7 activities, A to G, and then the description of each activity, just telling us what exactly that activity A is. And then the immediate predecessor, that column, or the third column in the table there, is only telling us the order in which each activity is going to occur, or how we are going to start each activity. For instance, if you look at activity A, it has dash as its immediate predecessor. What this is saying is that activity A is the first activity, that initial activity. And so the point is there's no activity that would come before activity A. But if you consider activity B, it says that its immediate predecessor is activity A. So it means that once we are done with A, we can move on to B. And it continues in that order. If you look at activity D, it says it is preceded by activities B and C. So it goes in that order. We'll go through them one by one. And then we'll use that information to actually develop our network diagram. And then the time in months is also given in the final column. Now, the requirements of the question says we should draw our project network together with the activity schedule for the problem. So let's answer the first part, which is A, that is getting our project network diagram. So for every project network diagram, this is how we start. Now I want to draw this caveat. There isn't a hard and fast rule for drawing the network diagram. The only thing here is to make sure that your diagram tells exactly the story being told in that immediate predecessor column. All I'm saying here is that make sure that however you end up drawing your diagram, the precedence, or how each activity, the order in which activities are shown, is the same as what is being shown in the immediate predecessor column. So let's start with activity A. It says it has no predecessor, which means that activity A is the first activity. So I put down my first note here, kind of pretty one, and then I put in my label as A. Okay, so activity A is the first activity and has no activity coming before it, so it's going to be my first one I put there. Then activity B says is preceded by A, so the immediate predecessor of B is A. Now, so you can put A anywhere apart from putting it behind. Sorry, you can put B anywhere on this paper and connect it apart from putting it behind A or directly on top of A or below A. So, just look at it like a forward movement because we are looking at time. Okay, so I put my B here. So I hope that is okay. And then introduce an arc, or what we call an arrow, telling me that I am moving from A to B. Now C is also preceded by A, and so, well, I just want a little order. In fact, you can put C here, I can put it here, wherever you can put C comfortably and connect your arrow to it, you can just do that with ease. So I put my C here, and then I put down this thing, and I connect an arrow from A to C. That's it. That easy. So I've been able to put activities A, B, C down. So the next one is D, and D says it is preceded by activities B and C. Where is B and C? This is B, this is C. So I can put D somewhere and just connect my arrow to get this. So I can put where do I put? I could put it here, here, here. Okay, so I'll just put it anywhere here. And then I have my D here, and I have arrow coming into this and an arrow coming into this. Please, just feel free and draw it at your convenience, and make sure that the only condition here is that make sure that whatever you're putting out here is exactly the same information being given us in that precedence relationships. Okay, so activity E is preceded by B. So, well, I can put my E here so that E comes out of B. So this is my E. That's it. We're almost there. Then activity F is preceded by E. So activity F, I can just squeeze my activity F here and get my arrow from E into F. I think we are almost there. And then the last one is my activity G. Yay! So I'm almost. So G is preceded by D and F. So this is D and this is my F. So I'll just put my, okay, so I kind of run out of space a little, so I'll just try and fit it here for us, that easy. And I'll put my G here. Okay, and I connect from here, and I also connect from here. That's it. I'm done. What I have done here is my project diagram or my network diagram. The next thing is to put in the time durations, and I've answered question 1. I've answered the A part of the question. So A, activity A has will take 3 months, B will take 2 months, C takes 1 month, D takes 3 months, E takes 1 month, F takes 1 month, and G also takes 1 month. I'm done. That's it. So this is my network diagram. And it's just that easy. It's so easy. So the next thing we would want to do is to do what we call my forward pass and backward pass. Okay, so for my forward pass and backward pass, so have this noted as your A part of the question, which says we should develop our network diagram. This is how our diagram is going to look like. I encourage you to take time and try and just go through the same rubrics that I did and try and get your diagram as well. Okay, so I have this easy one here done. I hope it's neat enough and beautiful enough. Okay, so the B part of the question is also saying that we should identify our critical path. Now, to identify your critical path, we need to first understand what a path is and then we will go ahead and compute what we call our slacks. Then we can identify the critical activities and a whole lot of stuff. Very interesting stuff. Now, what is a path? A path is just a connection of activities from the beginning to the end, the beginning activity to the ending activity. So for instance, I can move from A to B to E to F to G. That is one path. Is that okay? Then I can also move from A to B to D to G. That is another path. Then I can also move from A to C to D to G. So it's more like I have three major paths in this diagram. So we want to find a path, okay, that connects only the critical activities. Now, a critical activity, we would say, is an activity in a network diagram that has a zero slack, or that has no delay time available. And so you would make sure that that activity is taken care of, or you add all levels of seriousness to ensure the activity starts and completes within the time frame stipulated. So let's see how we're going to find these critical activities. To find our critical activities, we need to do something we call our forward pass and the backward pass. Okay, the forward pass is just some identifying our earliest start times and then our latest start times, or the earliest start times and the earliest finish times. That will help us find the project duration. And then we will do the reverse, which we call the backward pass, to help us find our latest finish times and then our latest start times. Then we can compute the slacks, and then we'll identify those activities that are critical to the project and see whether we have a path connecting those activities. So give me a moment. Let me reproduce this information here beautifully for us again, and then we can just do our. So this is how our initial diagram looked like. So I had this one and this. I want to space them out so well so that when I'm writing, it would look pretty nice for us. Okay, so I hope this works out. And I have G here, I have activity G here, so I'm going to move it. So how about so how about I try and do this? Let me kind of do it this way, so it will make life easy for us. I really want us to see this clearly, so I would make them quite bigger. And okay, so this is my E. So if that's E, that's going to be D. Then we're going to do a little invention here. So it continues from here like this. So then I will put my F here. Awesome. That's quite smart. And then I'll put my G here. So I'll label this G, and it has a duration of 1 month. I'll put my F, and it also has a duration of 1 month. Then I will shift it a little bit here. Okay, so you don't get to see F and G again, but when we are doing the computations, you see them. So this is E, it also has 1 month. And you have D, and it also has 3 months. Then I have my B, it also has 2 months. And I have C, has 1 month. And then A also has 3 months. So I just connect the arrows like this and like that. And I have here. Okay, there's one here. And there's one here. Okay, so it's kind of pretty here. Okay, so you don't get to see, now you get to see F and G again. And I'll just connect this one here, and I'll connect this one here, and this one here. We are done. Okay, so we are going to, this is how our diagram looks like in full. But if you're forgetting, this was the original diagram. I'm just reproducing them on two pages, so it makes life easier. So I'm going to start gradually, what we call our forward pass.